Hi Ashir. I'm still revising with you some important grammatical issues. Last time we talked about, if you can remember, what it was, present perfect. And today I'm going to continue the story. First, I'm going to write an example. Then you have to guess, what am I going to talk about? Is it okay? يلا يا عاشر, follow. If you study this lesson with أبواب, okay, what will happen? Okay, you will understand if close. I have finished. Okay, Ashir, can you guess what am I going to talk about? Present perfect. No, it's not. Look, read it again. Yes, we are going to talk about if clause type. I don't know. Then you will tell me later on. Is it okay? First of all, we have to analyze the statement, right? By the way, you have taken this one before, so just refreshing your memories. So if plus you, what is you? It is the subject, اللي هو الفاعل. Yes, study, it is what? Present simple, or we call it what? Verb 1, which is the present simple, right? And this lesson, it is the object. Okay, this is the complement. As you can see here, what? It is a comma. Let's continue the second part. You, again, it is a subject, right? Will, it is what? It's a modal verb. It is in the present, right? And understand, do you remember, Ya Ashir, the rule that always after modal verbs, we must use what? Infinitive verb. Okay, right. What do we mean by infinitive verb? الفعل المجرد. Without what? With no additions such as ed, s, ing, we have to what? Skip all of those additions, right? Okay. Now look here, Ya Ashir. We have this sentence is divided into two parts. The first part, yes, can you see? It is called what? If clause. Can you see? Till the comma, it is the if clause, right? And the second part, can you see the comma and after? We call it what? Main clause. Okay, I have a question for you. Why do we call it clause, not sentence? Okay, if, for example, Ya Ashir, I told you this one. If you study this lesson with أبواب, then I stopped. Okay, do you understand? No. So, we call it clause because it can't stand alone. So, it needs something else in order to give what? A meaningful sentence. Is it okay? So, it is not a sentence, it is a clause, which means in Arabic what? شبه الجملة, right? Okay, so it is divided into what? If clause and what? The main clause. Another question for you, Ya Ashir, can we shift? For example, you will, yes we can, you have to begin with capital letter. So you will understand if clause, right? You have to what? Now begin with the second one. So you have to drop the comma and instead write if. But pay attention, it should be what? Small. If you, then continue the one. So again, what do we call this? It is if clause. Yes, for sure, because it contains the if and this is the main clause, right? Okay, Ya Ashir, can we negate if clause? Right, we can. For example, if you, yes, don't. Now, pay attention. Okay, let me write the structure with you. If plus subject, can you help me, Ya Ashir? Yalla. If plus subject plus verb 1 plus we might have a complement, comma, plus what? Subject, plus will, plus what? Infinitive verb, plus the complement, and it is what? Optional. Okay, this is the structure. Okay, what about the structure of the affirmative? What about the negative? Yes, the same one, but we have to what? To negate. For example, if you don't, right? If you don't study this lesson with أبواب, you, what do you think? Won't. Bravo. And by the way, here will or will not, it depends on the if clause. Sometimes not here, it is optional. So it depends again, يا عاشر, with the meaning. Okay. Now I have another question. Imagine that the subject is singular. For example, if she studies. Okay, let me write it down. If she studies and continue, right? Okay, just I have written just this one in order to pay your attention that always the subject, when it is singular, it should have what? It should have S and singular S. How can we make it negative? If she doesn't what? Always after do or does, yes, you must use what? Infinitive verb. If she doesn't study this lesson with أبواب, she won't understand what if clause. That's okay. Now what about the question? Okay, now for example, will you understand if clause if you study this lesson with أبواب? Yes, it is a yes/no question. So you might begin with the modal verb, which is will, yes, and this is the traditional way of what? Forming yes/no questions. يا عاشر, what are we talking about? Yes, we are talking about if clause. If clause type 1, bravo. Why? Because here I used verb 1, which is the present. Okay, then here I use the modal, also it is at present. So if you have a question for your exam, then you have a space. For example, here you notice that the modal, it is will, it is present. So automatically, don't think you have to use what? The present verb. Is it okay? Yes, you are good. Thank you very much, يا عاشر. But before that, just a point that I didn't mention with you. Now, when do we use it? Yes, we use if clause type 1 when we are talking about future, about likely actions that might happen in the future, likely or probable, might happen in the future. That's it, يا عاشر.